Hello and welcome. My name is Corrie Thorne, the spiritual teacher, healer, psychic medium, life coach, and everything in between. I am the founder, the creator of More Than Existing, the author of the book, and the creator of the program that is truly about the evolution of you, your connection to you, and the come back into who you are. Today's video is I'm supposed to be doing my walk with me, but I'm just home from my hairdo, from getting my hair done. So I'm not out doing walk with me yet today. I am recording one of these videos, and I'm recording this based on the life of More Than Existing and where More Than Existing how More Than Existing arrived into my life and how it evolved into the life that I now live. And so the quote that started it was, I am choosing a life of more than just existing. And this journey has truly been a test of everything that I am and holding on to faith. So today I wanted to start recording some videos that are based around not just my channeling through the messages, but about some of the other work that I do and about what is offered in More Than Existing Academy of Higher Consciousness through my work. And behind you right here, you see a board, and that was my intuition coaching class that I was doing. But this is about what is transpiring for me today, is what's coming out for me today, is to talk a little bit more about our core values and our belief systems. So if you were to all look at who you are, I always use the question in my coaching, look at what you are. Tell me what you are, don't tell me who you are. Because when I meet people for the first time, people really have a pre-programmed version of who they are. And so they will tell me about the roles that they play, or they will tell me the versions of them kind of, identified by that sense of accomplishments in our lives. But that's accomplishments and it's roles that we play. And the pre-programmed parts are the things that we feel or think that we should say. And when we use that as a way to describe ourselves, it truly shows how we are disconnected and often not really knowing exactly who we are. And my work and what I do is I have the ability to see beyond no matter what persona, no matter what act, no matter how you try to be perceived in the world, is the ability to see beyond. And I would say to see beyond our own ability to lie to ourselves. And sometimes we don't know that we are even deceiving ourselves, because what I call in vices and virtues of my soul revival work and this work, of course, is that vices have become so normalized that we are living with our unhealthy bad habits, believing it to be our healthy habits. And that's been kind of since the beginning of time. And most parents and most people that are in our lives often have a story of, or a reason why they want to do better, why they want to kind of prove through their kids or teach their kids, different than they knew or learned, or why, the child should fear the world, or even in, our education systems, is that, you teach the curriculum, but you based on how you know what you know. And then because ego is so a part of us, is you find yourself infusing your own personal views and thoughts, especially if you're teaching courses that include culture, political views, that you're inciting and repeating your beliefs out into the world. And sometimes that comes with such a conviction. So our family dynamics often comes with a conviction that we all follow suit to the same story, or it was so horrendous that we try to do even more, to not to be it. But in the meantime, we don't realize how much of it is so habitual that you are repeating it in a different way, such as control. So if you were, controlled with fear, as a child and throughout life, chances are you're probably in another way controlling with fear. May not be the same story. It may not sound alike. You may even make it sound more loving, but that control is still there. So I teach about us having that sense of, we all have a narcissist, we all have that narcissistic tendency within us to want things to go our way, to want life to provide for us, exactly what we want. And to get what we want, we're willing to accept kind of any resolution that gets to a solution that brings us into a place of getting that desired outcome, so that we can convince ourselves we are comfortable, we are happy. So those core beliefs are, those core beliefs, when you start to explore them deeper and you look at you look at your life and you look into your life. I say, don't look at, the people in your life, you look into your life. Is what you were taught or told really truly aligning with who you are today? And it may have aligned with you, in your childhood when you didn't know any better, or you hadn't experienced anything other than that. And so where do you get your information? Where have you received your sense of what is right and what is wrong? Where did you get your information about what you should believe in and not believe in? Where did those things come from? So when you start to identify yourself, where did you learn the essence of what a woman should be, or a man should be, and what a man's role was? And then you also look at the dynamics of placement of children, expectations upon children, and we explore all of these things in a much deeper way, but not to lay blame out into the world, or to kind of judge or criticize yourself any more than what you've already done. You don't need to punish yourself any more than what you've already been punishing yourself, or what you've already punished yourself previously. It's about acknowledgement that, whoa, I have to stop. I have to pause. I have to really, truly think a little bit more about this. So we go into, where am I just existing? And, where did I learn some of these beliefs? And what, if I'm feared into my faith, what is my faith? So what am I? If someone were to ask me 10 years ago who I was, or when I start writing my bios and doing my mission statements and things for my work, I used to always say, first and foremost, I am a mom. I'm a woman, I'm a mom to a beautiful daughter. I'm a mother to a house full of animals. I'm a hairstylist, and I'm this and I'm that. And I'm like, and when you look at that, and it gets long, because you want validation, and you want people to, have faith in you, or you want people to believe in you, because you have a narrative, a story that's probably played through, that no one's ever understood you, no one has accepted you, and no one's understood you. So you keep trying to stack up who you are to be enough. And so when I write out when I'm asked now to give a bio, I go right to the question, what am I? And I describe it from that third person view. Corrie, she's this, when I'm thinking about it, if I were someone who was blessed to be in my presence in my life, I would think you would have someone pretty freaking wise to be in your life now. Whereas before, I was very apologetic for someone having to be in my presence. And that's sad. And so because there was core belief, there was belief systems, limited beliefs that I had placed upon myself based upon the perception of how I perceived my childhood, and how I perceived the language that was spoke to me to be much more detrimental, instead of, I don't think that's really what they ever meant. That's just how they spoke, but I didn't get that then. So to describe myself now, it would be Corrie, a strong, confident woman who truly knows who she is, what she brings to the table. She is blended in diversity and love. She has a wisdom that goes beyond. So when I can speak, see the difference. Before, I was describing everything that was in my life or every role that I played, but I was never talking about the woman, the discounted version of us. So we discount us and we put ourselves on the back burner, even when we are asked about who we are. If somebody was coming to a lecture, coming to anything to work with me, they did not really care that I had a daughter and what her name was, or that I had a house full of dogs. They probably had compassion for the fact that I took on the roles of being a mom and that I was a very busy lady, and they were appreciating my time. But they didn't need all of that other information. And this is what we called fillers. We fill up our lives with all of the information of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, of what we think we should say, of how we should always put everyone else first, of how we should make those a priority first. Because I made a choice to be a mother and I chose that to be my path, then I should announce that as my crowning glory, and that should be the priority always in my life. Now my daughter's almost 26 years old. And at 26 years old, do I still need to announce I am the mother too? No. Because when do you bring you forward? And it's not discounting by you when you stop filling up and over explaining or oversharing all the things you don't need to, and you start to really truly look at yourself as a priority in your own life, and you start to acknowledge you recognize that by you not mentioning your child or you not mentioning the roles that you play, it doesn't mean that you are taking away any value from them. They don't need you to fluff their feathers. They know through your actions and what you have brought into their lives, what you did. You don't have to keep announcing that to the world. Anyone that needs you to keep reminding the world that they're important in your lives, that's on them. That's not on you. And so remembering that is a very important part of the journey. So this being, if there's a little glitch here, it's because I had to pause. And so this being one of the many ways that when I speak about looking at our belief systems and looking at our where we place, our what our core values are and what we place value in, is sometimes we don't recognize that in placing value and worth is that we place value and worth upon everyone but ourselves. So this journey through more than existing, through creating more than existing, through writing the book, really truly became that part of discovering my worth and value was to acknowledge my role, the role that I played in my own life, in what I was still believing about myself, or where I was still limiting my own abilities, or the fact of who I really was. So in this discovery and in coming into this place of, we often hear people talk about oneness and walking our way, walking into this oneness or becoming one, is what oneness means is, the essence of becoming whole, which also AKA is like that essence of holy. It's about finding that sense of worth and value in you enough that you come back to you discover the faith within you, you know exactly who you are for this time. Not saying this is set in stone. We stop setting into stone that sense of who we are and what we are. We know we have a right to change our mind, but we stop living separated from self. You recognize that the essence of your soul, the essence of all of you is you. You're not separated from yourself. And the more that we become our identities that we create and the roles that we play, the more that we step farther and farther away from who we really are. And we find that in discovering the essence of our innate abilities, who we are at the core, who we, what we believe in. And, I hear people arguing all the time about, the God story, the Jesus story, and all of those things. And it's such a it's such a waste of energy and time, and are also fearing. And those are things that keep us emotionally and spiritually repressed, suppressed, not really living as our truth. And I'm going to talk about those things some more in my next discussion. One thing I can tell you about more than existing is this, that I don't come into more than existing into my woo-woo work per se. Not that I don't deny who I am as that, but I'm more than the medium. I'm more than even the life coach. I'm more than that. I am the woman who has lived this journey. It is the essence of everything that I have experienced to come back in, to know that the most powerful voice that I have, or the most amazing wisdom that I have, and the most powerful voice that never lies to me, is the one that comes from within. And when you can feel you, when you know who you are, when you can trust you, you no longer doubt that anymore. And so I don't have a need to justify, argue, or defend who and what I am. But I also don't need to push my belief systems upon anyone else. My work in More Than Existing is about giving you the opportunity to sit in a safe place to discover for yourself who and what you really are, and to live, to be able to clear out the stories, and to be able to truly find that sense of self, to think for yourself again. To, you don't realize the places that we actually don't think for ourselves, and to discover what it means to step into a new place of living with our core values, understanding that we do have an opportunity to change them. The more we learn, the more we know, the more that we allow ourselves to open to perceive the world differently, is that there's an opportunity for change. And we're here to evolve, to grow, to change on a regular basis. So I hope this talk helped you in some way, and that it gives you the opportunity to start to wonder a little bit more about, am I just existing? Where am I just existing? And I truly want to step into that movement of more than existing. So you're going to see much more of my work coming out. You can do the free introduction that was already out. I am going to be going into, I am in my, into my school of the More Than Existing Academy of Higher Consciousness, which is a shared space, which I share with some amazing women. But you're going to see it come up in an online summit that we're launching. But you're also going to see me show up on another new platform, and that I will be announcing. But in YouTube, right here, you'll always see this work. So much love. Please join in for the next one, as I will be doing a series of a few of these so that you can decide for yourself. And if you have not yet purchased your copy of More Than Existing, then you can go to my website, CorrieThorne.com, CORRIE, Thorne, THORNE.com. And you can see all the links of where you can purchase my book. It's also downloadable, and it is, and also all the schools, and for booking your personal one-on-one session with me, if you want to book in with me and just discover a little bit more about you. So the back of the book, the statement at the back of the book says, I have been given the key. I am done. I am discovering happiness and joy no matter the cost. I am the essence of my own existence and the cause of my continued issues. I am responsible and accountable for my life as I know it to be today. And anything happening within me, I am now allowing. I am making a choice to ignore and neglect the truth I don't want to face. What happens if I am to face a truth that I then have to live with? I guess we will have to see. Will I be brave enough to stand tall in the light and be seen as my raw, real, and vulnerable true self? As I show myself mercy and step out of the protective armor I have worn for so many years, will I truly be able to walk out and be free? Free from my own bondage of the illusions of my truth, the stories and the lies that held me captive for so long. More Than Existing. And if this really truly feels like it's touching your heart, and you really want to discover more about you, and you want to step into calling up and forth the inspiration and the healer and the guru that exists within you, that is there to help you. That's what I'm here to do. So more than existing, welcome. And thank you for taking the time to watch. Please subscribe and like and hit the little bell to get notifications, and share, share, share. I love to see my videos being shared out, because if it can get from one woman to the next woman, it makes me happy. So, or to the next man, who knows? So much love. Have a beautiful day. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.